Hi there guys, I hope you are having a good day. So put the kettle on and let's talk some boxing. Now Anthony Joshua has revealed some positive news with regards to Undisputed. This is what he put on his Instagram story. Positive news this evening. I'm lacing up my running boots right now. 258 Management and Matchroom Boxing have received the first official offer to host the Undisputed Heavyweight Championship of the world. I will be victorious, God willing. No place to hide now. I'm coming. So there we go, that is what Anthony Joshua has put on his social media. Now, of course, this is very exciting to believe that an offer is now on the table. We knew that there were places coming in to be considered, that Eddie Hearn had found certain places to stage the fight, like Russia, Uzbekistan, Qatar, London still, America, Saudi Arabia. I mean, that was told to us by Tyson Fury in a separate video, so I don't know how true those claims are about those specific places, but apparently now one place has come in with an offer to stage this fight. Now of course Tyson Fury explained also that he was going through offers on Sunday. Anthony Joshua and Eddie Hearn did echo those claims, so it does seem like they are both on the same page now, which is a positive thing because before it was Anthony Joshua being positive when he did actually come out and say anything, which we haven't seen a lot of. He only explained something when there is something to explain. Eddie Hearn does continuously say things about this fight, which keeps us on the edge I guess, but Tyson Fury hasn't been the most positive with regards to this fight getting over the line, but in recent times he has been more so, which is great for this fight to be made, and it does actually mean we are closer now than we ever have been. Big question is, where has this offer come from? I believe it's Saudi, I do. I believe that Saudi have come in with a big offer. I mean, Tyson Fury did say Qatar, and he did say his gypsy brothers in Qatar, so that did kind of sound like maybe they are at the top of his list. I don't know, I'm not sure, but I would say that if there has been an offer coming in, it's more likely to be Saudi than anywhere else. Just due to the fact that they've staged an Anthony Joshua fight before, especially putting up a site fee also for AJ versus Ruiz 2. That's the thing with AJ, he only puts these kind of messages out there when there is intentions behind his words. So he says he wants to get his running shoes on and things like that. That means he just wants to get back to training because there is this big offer out there now and Undisputed is real. It's out there. It's actually going to happen. So he wants to get back in training and get ready for Tyson Fury in July. Now, of course, there is still the possibility that this fight could take place in the UK. I think that as time goes on though, it becomes less and less likely with big offers coming in. They're not going to turn down mega money opportunities to stage the fight still in the UK. Whilst that would be awesome, you have to see it from the fighter's perspective. When these big offers come in, are they going to turn that kind of money down just to stay in the UK? Again, it would be nice if they did, but the promoters are going to encourage their fighters to take the biggest pay package because then they get paid more as well. I mean, Bob Arum definitely wants his check, so at some point a site fee will be agreed, and this fight will be on. The time when that is agreed, it seems to be fast approaching. Now, Tyson Fury is also going through his offers, and I believe that he travelled over to America on Sunday, so he is going through offers with Bob Arum to ensure that they can secure a place for this fight. So hopefully him and Anthony Joshua are on the same page when these big offers come in. I mean, there has been one big official offer so far. Maybe a few more will come in over the course of this week. So in light of that, I would not expect any big news in the next couple of days, but towards the end of the week, perhaps things will look a lot brighter with regards to getting this site deal actually done, so we will know where this fight will take place, and more specifically, when. Now let's talk about something else as well. Let's talk about Billy Joe Saunders, Chris Eubank Jr. and Canelo, because Chris Eubank Jr. said he's going to put 10,000 on Canelo to knock him out. This is what Billy Joe Saunders had to say in his response. He should have put that 10k on himself at beating me if he was that confident. He didn't. I beat him. Spend your 10k on a ringside ticket. That's the closest you're going to get to a Canelo fight. Now of course that is also in response to Chris Eubank Jr. saying he's the one to beat Canelo, not Billy Joe Saunders. Now, Billy Joe Saunders has proven himself more so than Chris Eubank. He's proven that he is the one who can challenge Canelo. Chris Eubank Jr. is a middleweight who came up to super middle, now has gone back down. So he's so far away from a Canelo fight. I mean, he shouldn't even be talking about Canelo. If it is his ambition to fight Canelo, then he should move back up to super middleweight and start fighting some intercontinental fights within the WBA, because he does have that interim status in the middleweight division, so he could get a good ranking if he moved back up to super middleweight. I don't believe that's his best weight, I believe middleweight is, but if he's talking about a Canelo fight, Canelo's fighting at super middle, whereas Chris Eubank Jr. is fighting at middleweight, so does he want to do all of his groundwork in the middleweight division, then move up to super middleweight to challenge the champion in that division? I mean, he'd take the fight, but I don't see the angle from Chris Eubank Jr. I believe that he should be working towards something like a Charlo fight. The biggest problem with Chris Eubank Jr. is during his career, you can't really see the plan. I mean, I guess you can somewhat when he went into the World Boxing Super Series, but even that, you cannot see where Chris Eubank Jr. has decided, I'm going to fight this guy, I'm going to fight that guy, then we can start working towards, say, a Charlo fight. But he doesn't seem to have that end goal, he doesn't seem to have that thing he sets his sights on to work towards. Maybe he does, but we haven't seen it with what he has done in the ring, because he does jump levels. He goes from a lower level fighter to a higher level fighter. We've seen that on multiple occasions. He needs to bridge that gap somehow. So even now, based off of his last 2 wins, does he warrant a Canelo fight? Does he warrant even having a chance if he were to get the fight? No, not really. Billy Joe Saunders is different because he has proven certain things. He's undefeated, no one has shut him up. So I guess he has that. He also is a pure boxer. Canelo has shown he has difficulties against pure boxers, although I don't suspect that will be a big problem for him in this fight, because just look at the improvements from Canelo during his career. You have to look at also, can you see that kind of improvement in Chris Eubank Jr., in Billy Joe Saunders as well? Billy Joe Saunders does have this thing where he kind of raises his bar to his opponent, so he has that in his corner as well. Chris Eubank Jr., I believe, needs to focus on his own weight class. If he wants to fight at super middle, then fair enough, move up. But I want to see him in a big fight, but I want to see him get there based off of wins over a David Lemieux. Maybe someone else, maybe he can go the route of Murata. Someone recently commented that in one of my previous videos about Chris Eubank Jr. Great fight, brilliant opportunity for Chris Eubank Jr. Go get a Murata fight. And Murata is the WBA regular champion in the middleweight division. So why not? That's a world championship fight for Chris Eubank. There is also a Derevyanchenko fight. Now imagine Chris Eubank Jr. versus Derevyanchenko. Brilliant fight. Andrade would be a very difficult style for him, so I would say that he's better off going towards a Charlo fight and getting on that course rather than Andrade. There is Golovkin also still in there. There are some great fights for Chris Eubank Jr., but he does need to build towards them. He cannot just jump from Korobov to those guys. Korobov is a great fighter, but if you look at the manner in which he won that fight, I mean, it's no fault of Chris Eubank Jr., but still, if you look at the manner in which he won, then you cannot see him going from that then to a world championship fight or a big fight. So he's fighting Marcus Morrison on May 1st. So as long as he gets the victory, then he can start building towards something. But he does need that plan. Billy Joe Saunders is a 2-time world champion, 2-weight world champion. So he has been on this course for a while now. And every challenge that has come his way, he's been able to overcome. And there is a lot to be said about the ability to be able to do that. Anyway, guys, what are your thoughts on this? Make sure you leave your thoughts in the comments below. Also leave a like and grab that subscribe button. Thanks, guys.